Hello, Leos. All right, Leos, sun shines. Let's get into it, Leos. Let's do it. All right, Leos. Let's balance this thing out. Let's balance it out. Let's balance it out. Remove the rose-colored glasses. Let's balance it out. Let's balance it out. So we got a pink moon coming up. We are in the full moon phase. So any full moon rituals that you all do, we have a lot of information on the community page. If you all want to go look it up, you can go look it up on my community page. I also have some information on my TikTok page as well. And I will repost all of that information on Instagram so that you can also scroll back through Instagram and check it out there. So let's get into it. Let's get right into your reading, Leos. All right. All right, so this is really all about balance. I'm going to try to break auric layers down to you all to help you all understand how important it is to, take your cape off sometimes so that you are not absorbing other people's, you're not absorbing other people's aura. You're not carrying other people's aura so that people don't keep misunderstanding you all. Like, I know I boost you all up a lot on my channel, and I even get, I'm telling y'all, sometimes if y'all read the comments, sometimes I even get people who really assume, like, as much as I big up Leos on my channel, I still to this day get comments from people who assume that I'm saying the opposite to Leos on my channel. I'm like, where have you been? You must be new to my channel. So let's do a hard reset. And you'll hear me say this for every zodiac sign. Hard reset. Unplug. Turn your the computer off your body. The computer. Unplug yourself and tune into source, the creator. Not somebody else becoming familiar with this one and up and over there. That's plugging into somebody else for information. You're plugging into source, the creator inside of you. Hard reset, right? So your aura is like an energetic calling card because it's the first thing that people sense when they meet you. First thing that people sense when they meet you. Somebody could be just like I am. Like when you first meet somebody, you could have literally excitement in your heart. But the first time somebody tell you something, somebody could tell you something about somebody, be like, oh yeah, they don't really like Leos. Your mind could be like, what? They don't like Leo? Oh, they must have had a bad experience with a Leo. Oh, wow. Okay, they don't like Leos. Like, no, you can be like, that's not you. You could say to yourself, that's not me. I'm really sunny and I have this nice disposition. I want the best for everybody and so on and so forth. But what if you happen to meet them on the same day they got some bad news about something, and you assume that what somebody told you because you plugged into something else met up with that energy they were carrying, something else had totally unrelated, had nothing to do with you, right? So your auric layer, you're responsible for your auric layer, hitting the reset button. So let's help you with this. Your aura is comprised of 7 layers, which is called subtle bodies that are directly connected to each of your chakras. Talking to men and women, Leos. I got to be, specific, not pacific. I got to be specific. I got to be specific, right? Not Pacific, okay? We're not talking about the ocean, right? Right. Even though, taking a salt bath, maybe in the ocean, would help remove some of that, cleanse the auric layer, but maybe in the Pacific Ocean. But the first 3 are the closest to the body. That's the etheric, the emotional, and mental subtle bodies. That represent the lower chakras, right? So lower chakras would be root chakra. That's the first auric layer. That is 1 to 3 inches off of your physical body, right? It's primarily about your health and your tribe, as well as your beliefs about both, right? Who hang out with who, like who is with what tribe, like who's hanging out, who you letting get that close to you, right? But who you associated with, right? your friendship circle, your friends, who you letting get that close to you, right? Somebody you letting get that close to you, your whole body language will show it. Like if you know, yeah. So yeah, and then the second one would be your emotional body, right? So the earth root chakra. That's earth, right? Earth. So you let only some certain people get that close to you, 1 to 3 inches off your body, right? That you only letting certain people get that close, right? And then you got the second, which is sacral chakra that connects us with water. That's your emotions, right? So the first one will connect us with earth. That's root chakra, earth. It could be earth, your energy. And then the second will be water, right? So, and then the emotional body resides 2 to 3 inches off the body. It's related to the sacral chakra and all your emotions, including unprocessed feelings from the past. This layer shifts as your mood shifts. What absorbs that? This largest organ, the skin. You shaking hands with people, it's absorbing somebody's auric layer. Y'all sitting there crying together, boo-hooing, tears just flowing. Let me wipe your tears off your face. Somebody's face. You like this. Let me wipe your face. You just absorbing it all in your skin, right? You're absorbing that auric layer. You hugging somebody, sweat to sweat, cheek to cheek. You kiss somebody on the cheek, auric layer. All right, y'all get the point. Auric layer 3, mental body, solar plexus, right? So mental body resides 3 to 8 inches off the body. It's related to solar plexus chakra, all of your mental processes, the ideas and judgments. This layer is connected to both conscious and subconscious mind. It'll reveal any self-doubts and limiting beliefs. Right? That's that fire, right? Those are the physical. That's the physical realm. Right? So that's limiting beliefs. Those are limiting beliefs. So that's where you can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. But the problem sometimes is that some people agree to disagree, but they are disagreeable. So when you part ways, that fire, it parts ways. Some people got that fire shut up in their bones. They be mad, right? They be super mad, right? Right? Then you got the fourth auric layer, which is the heart chakra, right? That's 1 foot off the body. It's related to heart chakra. It represents feelings of peace, love, connection to others. It will reveal if there's grief or a hardened heart. Grief is normal. Some people grieve things and they just move on with their life. They may cry, they grieve, they move on, right? And grief is tricky. One day you feel good, next day you may not feel good. You need to go take a walk, drink some water, be by yourself. Don't feel like being bothered. Take off from work from home, whatever. And then you got people who have a hardened heart, just a hardened heart, right? Which can be tricky depending on what people assume. Some people could assume you have a hardened heart. It's like you could assume other people have a hardened heart based on what you heard, who you're plugged into. You could have forgiven somebody, Leos, and people could assume you have a hardened heart because you've already gone through the grieving process. You've already cried about it. You already prayed about it. You closed out a cycle, and you could have moved on. And you literally could wish them the best. Hey, everything on planet Earth is connected. I wish you the best. We're just not. You're no longer a part of the tribe. You're no longer a part of the tribe, right? I don't want you. Whatever. Yeah, based on your own personal interaction, not what you heard, which you can find out later is a lie. Which you can find out later on is a lie, right? And in that case, if you went off of something you heard and they don't want you a part of their tribe, it goes both ways, right? Fifth auric layer, etheric template. So 1.5 to 2 feet off the body, related to the throat chakra, where the manifestation begins, right? Where the manifestation begins. Words are very powerful, very, very powerful. Speaking things into existence. Throat chakra, ear, nose, throat, right? So you speak something into existence. It smells a particular way. Like people say, you smell like money, or you smell like whatever you smell like, right? Whatever. Throat, throat chakra, what you're speaking into existence, right? Some people could smell like they have a tooth loose or something, or somebody could smell like they, you know, like roses, or somebody could smell like they, you know, got a jerry curl. I mean, who who knows, right? You smell like you just left a perfume shop, or you just smell like you know, left the candy shop or something, right? Smell a certain way, whatever, right? Auric layer 6 is brow chakra, right? So that's so anything you want to manifest, speaking something into existence, right? But auric layer, the 6th celestial body, a brow chakra, right? So it's associated with higher perception and intuition and unconditional love for all beings everywhere. And then you have the crown chakra, that's a casual body, auric layer, 7th. This is just a deep knowing and a sense of unity with everything everywhere. In other words, you're not trying to force your will on anybody. The end. I mean, that's really what it is. You're going to do a deep spiritual cleansing. You're unplugging from everything. You are doing a deep cleansing so that you can reset your own auric layer. You are resetting your own auric layer. You're not waiting for you to be forced to set it. You are setting your own auric layer. Clearing your own auric layer. You can do that through meditation and visualization, smudging, salt baths, sound healing, crystals. You see this book right here, crystals. Clear quartz, black tourmaline, amethyst, and selenite are good for auric cleansing. This is a big piece of amethyst here. And then nature and grounding. Walk barefoot on grass, sand, or soil is good. Also, Reiki or energy healing is also good as well. So let's get into your reading. Let's get right into your reading, because I know you're excited about getting into your reading. All right, let's go. Every word I speak is with love, truth, and good intention. All right? Good intention, right? Wake up every single day and set an intention. Set an intention. Set an intention. Set an intention for every single day. 666, personal responsibility. So it's time to reflect. This number can have a very negative connotation, can have very negative connotations to some, but from your angels, it's actually a powerful reminder to stop focusing on the material world so much. It's a strong message from your angels to take personal responsibility in your own life and ask yourself in all areas, what do I need to do differently? Sit quietly and reflect on this question today. 666. So 6 in the major arcana are lovers. You know, somebody could focus on other people's lovers. How many lovers somebody may have had. So we live in a society where if men have a certain number of lovers, then they are deemed as, hey, they got another notch in their belt. Women have a certain number of lovers, then she's a garden tool, maybe. Who knows? Or, you know, today somebody may say the same thing about men. Who knows? But some people could hold on. You get the rounded back and a bulging belly. Some people could hold on to something that's causing them a lot of stress in their midsection, a particular belief system. When we're talking about the auric layer, the 6th auric layer, which is the brow chakra, is unconditional love. That's the 2 to 2.5 feet off the body. It's related to the 3rd eye chakra. It's associated with higher perception and intuition and unconditional love for all beings everywhere. Right? So usually when you see 666, you think in mark of the beast, like something demonic. Right? But unconditional love. Unconditional love. All right. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So some people could also think generationally that the women in people's families are, you know, like carrying, you could be carrying a gift that people deem as demonic. There's a lot that, you know, that you can get from this number 666, right? But it's time to reflect. But remember, everything is connected. Everything is connected. This also connects us to a very maternal, maternal number. The sixth house speaks to health, work habits, daily routines, fitness, pets, service to others, diet, and spiritual practices. When we talk about the sixth house, spiritual practices. So, for instance, you could be dating someone and you find out your mother and their mother had the same spiritual practices that you never even know. They had the same intuition. It speaks to same intuition. You could find out that you have family members who may have dated the same person before, you know, and just never knew, right? You could find out you related to somebody and you're just like, well, hold on, you could have gone to high school with somebody you found out was your cousin. You're like, well, wait a minute, how did, wait a minute, what's your last name? You could find out at a family reunion that you were related to somebody. So again, let's get into your reading. Rose colored glasses are coming off for everybody. However they come off, they are coming off for everyone, so you can see things clearly about what inspires and motivates people. Here's the Four of Wands. Something feels like home for some people. Somebody has new and exuberant love coming across their path. Somebody has new love coming across their path and a new sense of self. Here's the Ace of Pentacles. So somebody's going to feel like new money. Somebody's going to feel like new money. Something feels like home for someone. Right? Somebody's back in the saddle again. Somebody is a very responsible energy. Somebody's a hard-working person. But somebody could have been feeling like they were carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. This spirit is a hard-working energy. But when you're dealing with a person who feel like they got the weight of the world on their shoulders based on maybe feeling bullied, it can make them appear lazy. It can make anybody appear lazy. Because they don't know where to put all of that energy. Fire is, everything is energy. That's fire as well, energy, right? But if you got fire in the wrong environment, you can feel burnout easily. You putting your energy in the wrong, yeah, y'all know what I'm saying? Like if you putting your energy in the wrong profession, let's say, for instance, you're working a job and let's say you're the star of the office, right? Let's say you're the star of the office, but you're putting your energy in the wrong environment. You're putting your energy in the wrong environment, and it seemed like for some of you all, you could have been working a job in the wrong environment. It just seemed like people just was waiting for you to fail in the environment. They just literally waiting for you to fail to a point. It's just like you walking around like you feel like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders. How long are you gonna stay in that environment? Even if you're getting big money, when all you hearing is how demonic you are. It's just like it's just echoing through your spirit. Just looks like an echo, constantly hearing. Somebody feel like they got the weight of the world on their shoulders. Like somebody just clapping and cheering. They got to hear demonic, you know, constantly. You know, like, so that's what I feel like. Somebody has new and exuberant love coming across. Somebody's back in the saddle again. Somebody's going to feel like new money. But again, when we talk about this layer right here, fire, we're talking about it reveals both conscious and subconscious mind. It will reveal any self-doubts and limiting beliefs. You can agree to disagree without coming across as disagreeable. Y'all know what I'm saying? That is why some people don't discuss certain things in the workplace. Somebody could be getting a raise at work but you're going to learn, stop talking about certain things in the workplace. Because when y'all sitting around clapping and cheering, clinking glasses during after the hours, you're getting together with some of your colleagues and you thinking, okay, I'm just talking about certain things. We're just having a warm fireside chat. Next thing you know, at work, those friends that you were sitting around having a warm fire chat quickly turn enemies. All that's still fire. It's still fire. But because they have already had a competitive spirit. You've already had a competitive spirit. So you're going where your sign is a sign. When the moon moves through your zodiac sign in particular, it helps everybody to see. Go where you're appreciated and not where you are tolerated. Not where you're tolerated. Somebody is not going to stay in a marriage, a friendship, a job. You're not going to stay anywhere, a neighborhood, a school. You're not staying anywhere where you feel like you are simply tolerated, period. Period. Nor are you requiring anybody else. Somebody singing a song, free yourself, right now. Free yourself. Because you're going to free yourself. Yeah. The window of opportunity is wide open. And I'm not saying that even being shady or sarcastic. But why in the world would anybody want anybody around when they was... I don't... Listen, when you're talking about closing out cycles in love, when somebody don't want to be around you or you don't want to be around them, listen, free yourself. Hey, 2 words, free yourself. That's 2 words right there. Free yourself, child. Because you got a whole window of opportunity around you. Because here, so I'm seeing somebody traveling. I'm seeing somebody like traveling the globe. You have a window of opportunity is huge, wide open, wide open. You don't need to put somebody under a spell, none of that. You don't have to judge anybody, rise above it. It's not a competition. You have a lot of opportunities trying to come in. You don't need to be obsessed with competing and comparing to a point where the judgment is actually going to fall down on you. For what? Yeah. Here's the 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. Yeah. So these are both of your hands. These are your hands. Both of this. This is your duality, right? Your darkness and light within you. This is duality, right? You know what your soul needs more than anybody. You know what sets you apart from every other Leo on the planet. So personally, if I speak very highly of Leos on my channel and somebody else on their channel speak very low of Leos, are you going to sit on somebody else's channel listening to how Leos are this? Or are you so used to hearing so much negativity about yourself that when somebody speaks highly of you, you really think that somebody is placating you because they're afraid of Leos? They're afraid that, okay, well, they got to say something nice about Leos because they don't want Leos. They don't want the pause to come out. Nobody afraid of Leos like that. Like, the source is saying to you, get used to you being ruled by the sun. Get used to your purpose is to shine, to help other people to shine. Like, get used to why you here. Get used to that. Some people really, I'm telling y'all, listen, I don't know who y'all hanging around. I really don't know who you hanging around, and I don't know who you talking to. I'm telling you, Leos, people love confidence. I can't say it no clearer than that. People love confidence. Something is a win-win for you when you recognize that when you holding on too tight to assuming people are judging you, or you feel like you have you can judge people all day long, but I'm telling you, be judged by that same measure. When you holding on too tight to something that you can see does not want you around, you hold on, you got to prove a point. You got to, like, look, y'all don't even understand how many people I talk to who will stay in neighborhoods, who will stay on jobs, who will stay in friendship circles where people who hate them, not just dislike, I'm talking about hate. And you'll see it. Sometimes it has nothing to do with, because people automatically like to bring race into it. It's not always race. Some people really It's something that's not, it's unresolved within themselves. It's there in a karmic cycle within themselves, y'all. I'm telling y'all, listen, it's not always race. Some people will stay in a, like, okay, let me give y'all an example. There are two people on social media, and they are hilarious. Both of them are comedians. They make it funny, but it's a man and a woman. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about. That they're on Instagram. They like pose as like, you know, people who have homeowners association, right? They go around finding their neighbors. They are hilarious. um But everybody has, if you're a homeowner, everybody who has had or have owned a home at one point in time, you always have those neighbors who are just super nosy. They go around, they find you got a chip paint on your front porch or something. They running off to homeowners association, writing up letters. You know, we want you to be fined for this, fined for that, fined for this, fined for that. You gotta, if you live in a state where you need to have the front license plate and the back license plate on your car. If you got something missing, even if you just took unscrewed something to clean something up for 5 minutes, somehow they find a reason to have you fined for this and that. So it's just saying somebody is going to learn to stop. Somebody is really going to now understand that human's rejection is source's protection from something else that you don't want to see. Somebody is really fighting, speaking of the devil, within themselves, fighting against their own flesh. So only you know what your spirit needs. Only you know what your spirit needs, for real. Source is about to put you in hermit mode. If you're not already in hermit mode, I'm telling you, all of this, I gotta go say good day. I feel like somebody judging me, and I gotta go, I gotta go do this. So it's like, all right, go right on ahead. Yeah, so what I was saying is that, yeah, you missing out on a world of opportunities trying to come in. Like, you may feel like you victorious in one energy when you saying, okay, I don't want certain neighbors living next to me. I don't want certain people around me. I don't want such. But Source is moving people on to bigger and better things. I'm telling y'all, and you do not want to miss out on the opportunities that's trying to come in. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss out on opportunities trying to come in. Source is about to put you in hermit mode, so that you can see how a light turns on in hermit mode and how some people thrive. When I tell you thrive, you talking about somebody's gonna feel like big money is coming across your path. It's trying to come in. Somebody's gonna be like, oh my God, who knew? Who knew? Psychic abilities about to be turned on for you, like all kinds of downloads coming through. You know why? Because of your auric layer. How close physically you were, some of y'all, to your next door neighbors. Literally, you were 3 to 8 inches off of their physical body, absorbing that energy. You were absorbing that energy and felt like, oh no, we got limited self-beliefs, like self-doubts. I don't want to be near them. They into this. I heard that. Somebody told me this. And so it's about to put you, and you don't know how Source is going to put you in hermit mode. Your job could be like, listen, you know, such and such is whatever. You need to work from home. Now all of a sudden you working from home, and guess what? You're going to experience the same thing. Your neighbors will be like, oh, they always home. What? Trying to get familiar with what you're doing. And you could be making big money from home. And that's exactly what your spirit needed. Your spirit needed to be at home to see if any kind of demonic activity was going on. You needed to be familiar with what was really going on at home when you was away at work. Instead of assuming something else, you need to know. But had you gotten familiar with some of your neighbors, like spoken to some of your neighbors, then they would have told you. They would have told you, right? So, yeah, assuming meekness is weakness. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Source fights people's battles. Source fights people's battles. Source fights people's battles. That's why I always tell people, hey, it's not going to kill people to speak to your neighbors. It's not going to hurt you people to speak to their neighbors. Become familiar with people on your own. Speak to people on your own. You found out a whole lot. You be grateful that the past is behind you, because they got some information for you. They could have told you some stuff that was going on behind your back, but you ain't want to know about it because you becoming familiar with lies. Some of your neighbors know some stuff that's going on behind your back, but people mind their business. You just see them meekly just moving on with their lives, rising above the judgment, in hermit mode. They got cameras too. They see stuff too. Here's a temperance card. So temperance card, you resolve something. Source is going to give you an opportunity to resolve something within yourself. To resolve something within yourself. Because somebody is going to learn how to rise above any assumptions that people are judging you about, whatever you assuming people are judging you about, because you're going to be taking a deep spiritual cleanse in hermit mode. So first thing is that you're recharging under that sunlight. That's your ruling luminary, the sun, right? Somebody gonna get out and get some sun, get some more sun. Because somebody was like, I wish so-and-so would just move, get away, just get away, just move. I don't want them anywhere near. Yeah, some people have been saying, we just get away, just move. I wish they would just pack up and just move away. That's what somebody has been wanting somebody to move. But these same neighbors that somebody has been wanting to pack up and move away has information for you of what's been going on behind your back, but you don't want to know that because you just wish somebody would move, because you're only familiar with what you heard, and that's it. And so in their meekness, they just like source fight their battles. That is why it's important when we're talking about auric layer, and it works both ways. It works both ways. So somebody's at a crossroad right now, and so source is saying when you're at a crossroad and you have a feeling about something, you always want to vibrate high. Always. Always. Source is going to always reward you when you choose to vibrate high. When you choose to vibrate high. When you choose to vibrate high, come up out of the flesh and vibrate at a higher frequency. Yep. Because something has been happening right outside your door. Right outside your front door. To make you feel worthless, or to make someone else feel worthless, right? So free yourself. Free yourself. Free yourself of any shade that you may be having towards anyone else, limited self-beliefs. Any shade. Remember, time is relative. Time is relative. You want to slow down. You really, really want to slow down. Because something has been... Source wants... Y'all heard the term sweep in front of your own front door, right? The enemy... Not that anybody needs to teach a lesson on how the devil can come in and just, create all kinds of chaos and confusion for real. But somebody has been feeling like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders. Because people have been real shady towards them. It could be somebody's child, someone's niece, nephew, grandchild. something. It could be your spouse. It could be something that's going on, and it's showing up in many different ways. It can show out in many different ways, right? People when they feel like a cycle has ended for whatever reason, it can show out in many different ways. But something has been going on that you're assuming one thing. Your conversation is like you got all this fire shut up in your bones in one air. For somebody, I don't know, I wish they would just move. Spiritually, we don't believe. I got a feeling they into some kind of devil worship. They into this 666. Some kind of devil worship, and I, I don't, right outside our door, and they something about such and such, and I heard, and I'm familiar with such and such, and all of this. And sources saying, I need you to see something from a higher frequency. I need you to see something from a higher frequency, because you don't see a whole picture of something. You don't see a whole picture of something. All you see is somebody in hermit mode. You got cameras pointed at something. You don't see something else. Well, here we have the Four of Pentacles here. So Source is trying to show you something, Leos. Source is trying to show you something. Trying to show you something. It's time to reflect. It's time to reflect on something. It's like what you hear. Source is like, okay, this is solar plexus, right? This is solar plexus, right? So it's time to kind of put the, when we're talking about as far as fire is concerned, is do a deep cleansing of your fire by going out and getting some sunlight, right? Going out and getting some sunlight, doing some nature and grounding, maybe Reiki or energy healing, crystals. This is a crystals book here. Sound healing, salt baths are also really good. Smudging is also good. Also meditation and visualization. Yeah. Here's a star card. Start thinking about your future. This connects us with 11th house. 11th house is all about, friendships, community, goals, hopes, wishes, awareness, humanitarianism, technology, and also the future. So start thinking about your future. Start really thinking about your future. Just like not being in this, I got to divide energies, this divisive. So learn how to use your fire properly. And just who you're around, the energies that you're around, because some energies who are meek, they let source fight their battles. But they can really be team you. They literally could be team you. Because what could be happening to you could have already happened to them. And just in their meekness, they could be trying to tell you something that you can't see. They could be trying to tell you something. You could have a feeling about something, but you don't know. You never had a warm fireside chat. Your energy is directed outward. So again, rise above what you assume that people are judging you, because you could be carrying other people's energy on your spirit. You could be carrying other people's energy in your auric layer. So, and their energy could be confusing you. Yep. So, two energies could be confusing you. So, all right. So, Source is trying to help you to rise above something. Yep. You could be carrying two other people's energy in your auric layer, and it could be confusing you. It literally could be confusing you. So, here we have the Lovers card. So I see you'll be making a decision about something. Some kind of a partnership in business or partnership in love is coming across for you. But for you, you're going to make a decision. No more dysfunctional relationship where you look down on others, or people are looking down on you, or up to others, or other people are looking up. Whereas there has to be a balance within, where you're treating people equally and they're treating you as equally with respect, and vice versa, right? Not based on how much money somebody has, where they live, what they had, a level of education, none of that mess, because we can all learn from each other. But I feel like somebody's neighbor has some very valuable information for you. But they'll be able to pick up on your energy, whether you're being genuine or disingenuous. They'll be able to pick up on your energy based on interactions. Based on interaction. But meek does not mean weak by any stretch of the imagination at all. At all. So, Source is saying, you decide what you're motivated by. You're deciding what you're motivated by. You were determined. Yeah, somebody was determined for someone to move. And you may get your wishes. That somebody may be moving. And you'll be free from that. You may have been determined. I don't want that energy next to me. I don't want to be, but you're already affected by the auric layer, because Source is going to put you in hermit mode so you can make a decision about something. So that you can make a decision. Remember, these two cards right here are ruled by Mercury. These two cards right here are ruled by this planet right here, the Magician card, because you've been confused about something. And I guarantee you it was not your next door neighbor that was causing the confusion, but your next door neighbor had the answers to some stuff, okay? That I can assure you of. That I can assure you of. Your next door neighbor had answers to some stuff. So, here's the Empress card. Something is growing inside of you. Your creativity is growing inside of you. Somebody could be pregnant, so if that's the case, congratulations, your intuition is growing as well. But your intuition, if you're a man or woman, it doesn't really matter. It's not always a baby, but your intuition about something is growing. You can be confused about something, right? And not really know what it is, but the rose-colored glasses about something is about to be pulled off. I'm telling you, you have a neighbor, somebody has a neighbor right now that they assume when you go off to work thinking that you got the weight of the world on your shoulders, you are assuming something is going on right outside your front door. You assume something, but I can assure you it is not your neighbor. And you are somebody feel like they're about to implode, not explode, but implode from the inside. It is not the neighbor you think it is. It's not who you think it is, but you won't talk to your neighbor. But you're getting some answers, your prayers answered. Like I said, you working like a workhorse. You're a hard-working person. But like I said, you got a lot of funny skits on social media, where people are, creating a bunch of confusion for their neighbors around. And so your wishes are being fulfilled. You're on top of things. You're on top of some things. So one neighbor is grateful that your prayers are being answered, because your prayers are actually in alignment with what they prayed for. So they're thanking you for that. But your prayer about something else about to be answered too. Source just clearing away all the smoke for you. Source is clearing away all the smoke for you. So you can see something that you've been asking Source for clarity on. Because you that determined. And keep that determination up. So Source is saying start all over again. Because one thing, somebody says, dang, that wasn't it. Man, it's going to make you start thinking, hold on. If that wasn't it, then what was it? That's why I always tell people, when you're at a crossroad and you have a decision to vibrate high or vibrate low, vibrate high. Vibrate high. Vibrate high. Because somebody had answers for you about something that you had questions about a long time ago. Vibrate high. If you have work and you feel like you're mad at somebody at work because you feel like, okay, somebody is just a little bit too meek, they seem sneaky, they don't feel like they telling you something or whatever the case may be, they could have already fought a battle. They could have, in their spirit, could have already been somewhere where they've been in survival mode and they had to let Source fight their battles. They literally could have had to say, you know what? Let Source fight their battles. Just let source fight their battles. They don't want to have nothing to do with none of that. Like, they don't want to have nothing to do. They don't want to, they physically, they're not trying to be a part of no craziness. Let source fight their battle. They don't have nothing to do with somebody lying on them or whatever the case. They don't want to have nothing to do with none of that. They just minding their business, working. Some people don't want problems and trouble with people. They just don't, they're not about that life. They're not into just chaos and confusion and craziness. They just rise above the judgment. They just rise above it. They go in their house and they mind their business. They don't like reckless. They don't like being part of just mess. So, something about, you're gonna be successful in whatever you'll be successful in whatever, but it's how you get it, though. It's going to be how you get it. Did you have to burn everything down to get it? Or did you have to learn how to be a prayer warrior? Did you have to learn how to be a prayer warrior to get what you needed? So you got a message. Somebody's feeling like a teenager again. Somebody was determined to get some information. Somebody's feeling like new money. Somebody had to work really, really hard to get some information out of something, about something, Somebody's grateful that something is behind them. Like I said, something is time to reflect. It's time to reflect. So somebody is a light worker. It's time to reflect. It is time to reflect on some things. Time to reflect. So work through your fears. Work through your fears. Work through your fears. Someone, something around, some kind of a lie around how somebody makes their money. Some kind of lie around somebody, how they make their money, what kind of work somebody does. Somebody was determined to hear about what kind of money somebody, how somebody makes their money. To a point that somebody wanted somebody to move. Like, I don't want that kind of energy around me. I just want that energy to move. But that energy, because somebody I don't know if this is you, but you could take this however, put it wherever it needs to go. Okay, Leos. This could be somebody wanted you to move because somebody lied about what kind of work you do. I don't know who I'm talking to here. Or you could have wanted somebody to move based on what you heard, what kind of work they do, right? Because we're talking about this right here. And how they make money, because we're seeing workhorse, like somebody works hard for their money, but they telling somebody was telling a lie, being shady. Somebody does this behind closed doors, trying to make somebody feel worthless and somebody felt worthless about something, about people leaving them out of something, whatever. But anyway, somebody's prayers were answered. Somebody got somebody put out, or somebody that maybe they didn't get somebody put out. This maybe is moving on because they feel the energy around them. So maybe somebody's prayers was answered. Maybe somebody's moving. Somebody was that determined. They focused. They got somebody to physically move on. Okay, good. If that was the case, if that's what you wanted, hey, somebody could be throwing up a baton. Woohoo! Finally got that demon away. Who knows? Who knows what somebody's saying? I mean, who knows, right? But the bigger thing is What is it really exposing though? Somebody had a feeling about something, but now that one smoke situation is cleared away, it had created a smoke screen for something else. Something had created a smoke screen for something else. And that's what Source is about to wake you up about. An awakening. Oh my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. All them neighbors who be sitting at home, they working from home, they be seeing stuff. They be seeing stuff, so them neighbors that people be looking at, rolling their eyes, and don't have nothing to say to them neighbors. Like, they just mind their business. They don't want no. Speaking of fire, they don't want no smoke. They mind their business. They don't want to have nothing to do with nothing. They don't. Nope. They are minding their beeswax. They are minding their business. Nope. They go in their house, they close their door, they mind their business. The end. So clear your energy field. Clear your energy field. Y'all, nobody got time for all of that. See this smudging right here? This person got a piece of sage. Some people, they go in their house, they mind their business. They don't want no part of nothing. They keep their head low. They just mind their business. They ain't running from nothing. They just mind their business. They mind their business. They don't want to be a part of nothing. They're like, nope. People communicate to you in many ways without coming out and saying stuff. They tell you stuff in ways without even saying it. That is what I have for you all, Leos. Hopefully this has been helpful. But those are ways, like I said, auric layer. And the reason why you all are starting to become confused or even more determined is because you are having interactions with someone who has psychic abilities and psychic gifts. That is their way of telling you, like, okay, you're confused about something, but let me help you clear this up. So while you could be demonizing people's gifts, Source is like, no, I'm going to put you in contact with somebody that's going to help you to learn how to clear something out. So as you're praying for them to leave, Source is saying they dropping off a gift to you. You need to pay attention to something. And you're like, oh, that's demonic. Okay. But you've been wanting some answers to something. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully this has been helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. Like I said before, a lot of people have inherited High Priestess gifts, and that's just intuition. That's all it is. It's really intuition. It's like you hear people say women's intuition, but men have intuition as well. So that's all High Priestess gifts is intuition. Really, that's it. Your intuition is growing stronger and stronger and stronger about something, and that's it. Because every time you go off to work, you're wondering if something is happening. You're wondering, and you can't for the life of you figure out what it is. That is what I have for you. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.